Welcome back to the Spread Running Game Academy. Today we are going to talk about the dart play. Let's get going. All right, so let's dive into the chalk talk about darts. Let me pull up the picture first here, and we'll just talk about the play, and then we'll go back and we'll talk about a few of the techniques. So dart, the concept of dart is we're going to pull our backside tackle. Our backside tackle is our lead blocker. He is basically playing the role of what a fullback would do in a traditional two-back offense, right? We're leading up on the play side linebacker with our backside tackle. So the way this lines up, a couple things I really love about it. Number one, what we're going to teach our play side tackle to do is actually lazy pass set. Okay, so I'll go back up here to where we talk about responsibilities. So you can see the right tackle. Okay, what we tell him to do is pass set the defensive end to try to influence an outside rush. So when you really want to run dart is when you're getting a true outside technique from this defensive end. Okay, so if he's in a wide, 9 technique or 7 technique, really, because we don't have a tight end. But if he's playing a wide technique, even if he's just a shade outside, if you have outside technique from the defensive end, you can run dart, right? Because you can really invite this defensive end up the field by just lazy pass setting. So all you're really teaching your guys to do is do something that you don't want them to do on a pass play. Turn their shoulders and let this guy run upfield and then wall him upfield. Now, defensive ends, they're not all, as soon as they realize it's a run, they're going to try to fold back over. So it's important that your tackle, and we'll see this on the cut-ups, but it's important that your play side tackle stays with him and continually walls him upfield. What that's going to create is a natural gap right here, especially if you run this to a 1 technique like it's lined up right here, okay? And I'll talk about what it looks like to a 3 technique in a second too. So play side tackle, you are going to wall this defensive end up the field, right? Now play side guard and center, okay? The center's rule, one reason I love this play is we get a true double team at the point of attack, especially if you're running it to a 1 technique. The center's rule is he is always going to double team the 1 technique to the backside backer. So if we're running it to a 3, then obviously the 1 technique's over here and it's a double team on this side. I'll show you that in a second. But in this alignment, if you're running it to a 1 technique, you double team the nose with the play side guard and the center. We create movement here toward that backside inside linebacker. Okay, so we're creating that wall. Okay, so it looks a lot like counter between those two guys, right? We're creating a push, we're creating a wall, we're creating movement here toward that backside Mike. And I want to emphasize, it is most important that we create movement here with these two guys. We have to create movement first and foremost. That's more important than getting to that guy. Obviously, we want to get to that guy, and if he's good, he's going to try to shoot right there. But movement here is more important, because if we don't create movement here, if he stones us in the hole, if he creates penetration, he will knock off our puller and it kills the play. So the most important block is that play side down guy. Whether you're running it to a 3 or to a 1, we have to create movement right there. Okay, that's really important. And then we're going to obviously double team up to that backside Mike backer. Okay, backside guard has an easy job, especially against a 3 technique. All he's going to do is seal that backside tackle. Inside penetration kills us. Outside penetration is not the end of the world, but we want to stay on that guy into the whistle, because what's going to happen is the running back will burst through. Okay, he'll come through here, and if we don't stay on this guy, the tackle will he'll fold over and he'll make that play in the hole. So we have to stay on that guy. So just because your job is easy doesn't mean you get to take the play off. Right? You have to stay on that guy and push him to the whistle, but we cannot allow inside penetration. Inside penetration will kill us. Okay, backside tackle. Obviously, he's our lead blocker. So this is the pull to lead technique, which means we are going to take a flat step. We're going to try to keep our shoulders as square as possible. We're going to run the wall. We're going to stay tight to the wall up to that play side inside backer. And then once we get to that guy, we sink our hips, we fire our feet, and we take him wherever he wants to go. Okay. Important point here, and I'll show you this in the cut-ups as well, but as you come around the corner, teach your tackle to keep his head on a swivel and look inside out. So when you come around the corner, what happens a lot of times is this Sam for whatever reason? He's not there. Okay, for whatever reason. He was on a stunt. He flew outside. He read something else and he got caught in the wash here, whatever. And sometimes it'll be the backside mic that's actually flowing over top and the Sam won't be there. So what the tackle's tendency is going to be is to look outside and end up like on the strong safety, or if they have too high, end up on one of the safeties or something. But it's more important that he keeps his head on a swivel and looks inside for that flowing backer. And what that's going to do is really seal it. Because again, if we have this tackle up or this defensive end up the field here and the inside backer is sealed here, we have a natural running lane right there for a running back. Okay. All right, running back path needs to be downhill. Obviously, he is going to read this block. That's key. Okay, so stay tight to the wall, read this block. If we kick him out, you cut it inside. If we kick him in, you cut it outside. You just get right on the tackle's butt and follow him. Okay, right on the tackle's butt and follow him. And the tackle, remember, he can take this guy wherever he wants to go. Okay, so that's the basic concept of Dart. And I put in this front right here, a 4-2, 2-1 technique is my absolute favorite time to run it. I love so much about it, but I love this double team at the point of attack, and I love how downhill it hits. Even though it's a pulling play, it really is a downhill inside running play. And then the other thing that I love about it is we don't have to be a great base blocker. If you just have you can take advantage of the aggression of this defensive end. Invite him upfield and just, especially if we're throwing the ball all day long, which is what we want to do, right? This guy was going to invite him upfield. Okay, invite him upfield, invite him upfield, invite him upfield, and we'll just run underneath him. Okay. All right. Next front. Let's look at what it looks like 2-3 technique. This is tougher. And the reason this is tougher, we can do it. I'm going to show you an example of doing it. But the reason it's tougher is because now, instead of a double team at the point of attack, we have a one-on-one base. Okay. And what we're actually going to teach the guard here is if you have a true 3, you don't even have to worry about trying. I mean, if we can reach him, great. But most likely, we're just going to end up kicking him out. Okay, so it's just a base block, and we're going to try to get our head between him and the A gap. And we can make a call here to our backside tackle. We can say 3-3-3-3-3. And that tells our tackle that this is he's probably going to have to cut this up early in the A gap as opposed to in the B gap. Because most likely, this tackle is responsible for the B gap, right? So he's going to come here, right? Which means our guard needs to kick him out this way, and our backside tackle needs to fold up inside the A gap. So really, all we're doing now is we're attacking the A instead of attacking the B because of defensive alignment. Backside, I love what the backside looks like here, right? We get a double team here up to the backside mic. And so if we can get the Sam sealed here and we can maintain this block between our play side guard, then we have a nice play. We have a nice running lane here with the backside tackle pulling up a little bit tighter. The problem is if your guard isn't a stud, or if this guy's huge and your guy's not, you could give up penetration here. And if you give up penetration here in the play side A or the play side B, that will kill this play. And so as opposed to running it 2-1 technique where we get an automatic double team, right? I like our odds here. Even if this guy's a stud, we got 2-on-1, right? So I like our odds here. This is really a game plan and a personnel thing. Can your guard block their tackle 1-on-1? And if he can, great. Go ahead and run it to the 3. If he can't, then my suggestion would be you still want to run Dart. Check it back here. Okay, so teach your quarterback to check it to the backside. Always check it to the 1 technique, right? Or check counter to the play side. Okay, so there's a lot of ways you can take advantage and you can still run what you want to run. If you want to stick with Dart, just say, put in an opposite call. So teach your quarterback, we're always going to run Dart. If we call Dart, we're always going to run to the 1 technique. Okay, so if we have Dart right called and they come out in this, check opposite. Now we're going to run Dart left. Okay. Again, that's only if your guard can't handle this guy. If your guard proves that he can handle this tackle 1-on-1, go ahead and run it to a 3. It can work. It can absolutely work. But this is the key block. All right, against this front. Obviously, backside tackle, his path is going to be a little bit tighter, but if he's tight to the wall anyway, the path isn't going to change too much because his guard is going to kick him out, right? And so the path is just going to be a touch tighter, just up through the A gap to that Sam. All right, so there we go. That's what it looks like against a 4-2 to both directions. Now, 3-3 stack. I drew it up. I'm not a huge fan of it. Even though it's in the playbook, I'm not a huge fan of running it to a 3-3. I'd rather call counter because counter washes everything down. And all of the stunting that they're going to do in a 3-3 or a 3-5 is kind of negated when you just have down block, down block, down block. However, if the defensive end is going to go outside, here's the reason I'm not a huge fan of Dart against a 3-3, because this defensive end, sometimes he's going to go here, and sometimes the Sam's going to come here, or vice versa. And if the defensive end goes here, then what you're really doing, you have to wash him down with your tackle, and now the path for your backside tackle becomes wider, and it just doesn't line up as well as counter does, right? Counter, we're coming down, 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 and we have a kick out and a pull through. So I like counter better against a 3-3, but if you want to run Dart, here's what it looks like. The good part about Dart against a 3-3 is we get a double team on the nose, okay? And that creates movement on the play side. So if you face a 3-3 or a 3-5 where the defensive end is playing outside technique, or if he's really aggressive on his pass rush, then Dart can still be a really good play. Okay. I'm not saying don't run it against a 3-3. I'm saying really hone in on film on what these guys are doing. If the defensive ends are coming hard upfield, then definitely, and they're coming outside, then definitely still run Dart. Okay. You absolutely still can against a 3-3 or a 3-5. It's just really honing in on what this guy's technique is. Because if he's going to slant into the B gap anyway, you might as well just wash him down and run counter. Okay, because you're getting the same action, you're hitting the same gap, but you're kind of creating better angles for your guys. Okay, so really it's just all about knowing what this defensive end is doing. So if he's going to come upfield, that's fine. We'll wash him upfield like we do. We get our play side double team here on the nose up to the mic. The guard is an easy block. He can just get up to that backside backer, and then the play side or backside tackle obviously is our lead blocker here. Okay. So that's what it lines up like against a 3-3. Obviously, against a 4-1, it looks really similar to what it looks like against a 4-2, and really it just depends upon how they're playing it with their inside interior linemen. So if they have two eyes, or if they have 2 2s, or if they have 3 techniques, or if they have a 1 and a 3. Really just determines on which way you would be best to run this play. But the way it lines up is pretty simple, right? We can get right here. If you call this guy a 1 technique, then we would get a double team up to the mic, okay, which I kind of like, right? That play side double team. Backside guard has to cut off this the nose guard. Or if you call this guy the 1, then you'd get a double team here up to the mic. Either way. But what I really like about it is if we can get this block sealed, if we can get this done. So say we double team here, because we're going to call this a 1 technique here. Okay. Say it's a 1. That means we're going to double team the 1 up to the mic. And if we do that, there's nobody in the hole, right? If the Sam's walked out over top of our Y, right? The tackle, he's going to get in here. He's going to peek inside. And if there's nobody peeling over top, he's going to get out to that Sam and we're off to the races. So against a 4-1, it lines up really, really good. And kind of like I've said already, I like almost every inside running play against a 5-man box, but Dart lines up really well against that. Versus a 3-2, it's money. Like this right here, if you're going to get a true 3-4 defense, and they're going to walk out their will and their jack out on top of your slot guys, run Dart all day long. Okay, Dart is money against this front right here, because the defensive end, obviously, he's going to play outside technique, work get him upfield. Look at this. Look at the double team and the angles we have here to the backside backer, right? We double team the nose all the way to that backside mic. The guard actually can get up to the free safety because he doesn't have anybody to block against a 3-2. He can help on that mic backer too and chip and then get up to the second level. And he can make that touchdown block. And then the tackle, obviously, he's leading on that play side backer. We got to make sure our Y can get down and get the jack sealed off. And if so, the only guy left to make the play is that strong safety, right? So now we're 1-on-1 tailback on strong safety if you're running this against a true 3-4. So I love it. My favorite times to run Dart versus a true 3-4 like this, okay? And then versus a 4-2 box to the 1 technique are my favorite times to run Dart. Okay, so with I'll pull up one more, QB Dart. I got to talk about this. We'll talk about this in the quarterback run game, but QB Dart is just like Dart. The only difference is you're changing responsibilities between your running back and your quarterback. So now, instead of your quarterback reading the defensive end, you're going to fake it to and you don't even have to fake it, honestly. You could I'll talk about it this way first. You're going to fake it to your running back. He's going to come across the quarterback's face, and then he's going to seal the defensive end. Okay? And then your quarterback is going to keep the ball and run the dart. So he is just going to take the place of the running back. There's various things you can do with this running back too. You can put him on the backside and just have him go block that D end. That's fine. You could run a stretch fake here and hold the defensive end with stretch action. Okay, so you could run that. You could even run dart. This is kind of next level, but you could even run dart, stretch, read here. So really you're running dart, play side, and you let your quarterback invert read this. So your running back's going to come across your quarterback's face. If the defensive end comes upfield and takes away that stretch, your quarterback keeps the ball and runs the dart. If the defensive end kind of comes downhill and follows that tackle, your quarterback gives the stretch, and now you're 2-on-2 out here with your best athlete with the football on the edge. Okay, so you can invert the read here if you want to on dart, but it's a really good, if you're going to get if you have the alignment right, you're going to run it to a one technique, you can really play a lot of games with your quarterback and your running back. And there's a million different things you could do. You put guys in motion, you can do all kinds of stuff with these two guys without changing the alignment and the assignment of the guys up front. All right, so there's some chalk talk on the dart play. Again, one of my favorite pulling plays in the entire offense, really takes advantage of specific defensive alignments. So go ahead and click on the next video and we will see the dart play in action.